Well, this is how your new bucket will arrive. Pallet strapped to the pallet, but it's already been tested hydraulically and it's ready to go. So just take it off the pallet, plug it in, connect it, and you're ready to start working. Oh yeah, look at that. Much more flexible hoses. That's great. Okay, you ready? Anyway, this is how the Demo-Dozer comes. Banded to a pallet, and it's ready to go. It's the cylinders are filled with fluid, as well as they've been pressure tested to 3,000 psi. So it is ready to cut the bands, pull off the pallet, and ready to use. Also with the Demo-Dozer, these are Stuckey pressure release connectors. So you don't lock the pressure in the bucket. Makes it easier to connect. You don't have to break the hoses, release pressure. A lot of times it's a real hassle during the summer on a hot day. Also, the bucket comes with recessed grease zerks in every fitting. So you don't knock the zerks off, they're protected and they're easy to get to. Also, the buckets are, they come with removable side plates, and these side plates are actually easy to take on and off, and the bolts are welded to the side plate so you don't have to keep track of those when you remove them. But if you notice, the side plates are actually recessed back from the edge. And the reason I did that was the fact that you can still use this as a material bucket, but you can also get underneath a slab of concrete, grab it, break it, without having to remove the side plates. It makes it much more versatile.
Why have the side plates removable in the first place?
So you can move logs, large logs.
Oh, okay, I get it, I get it.
As well as the fact that you can do, like, you know, timber. Besides logs, you may have railroad ties, things of that nature that you want to move, or even long metal pipes. You can do that by just simply removing the side plates.
Okay.
This comes equipped with the SAE plate, J2513. This fits all tractors, but some of the older tractors don't quite fit this attachment, so you may need to do a small modification. You slide your attachment up underneath, and then you'll see if there might be a little bit of space here that you may need to add a small piece of metal to make it a tighter fit. That's with the older tractors that didn't meet the SAE standards way back when. Well, we've gone through the basics. Let's put this thing on the tractor and see what she can do.
Alternate direction there. It keeps that from getting snagged up on the ground. All right, good.
Let me lift it up once and see.
Oh, that's a pretty bucket. It's almost a shame to get it dirty. This one doesn't close all the way down. It's tight all the way there. But there's about almost 3/4 of an inch opening on this side. We just pressured down on it. Huh. Maybe it'll go further when we squeeze it hard.
The Demo-Dozer is unique in the fact that we've added receivers to the front of this, so it almost acts as a separate tool carrier. And right now we have inserted in here log chains. So if you had debris over a hill, big log, you could hook a chain on this, throw it on, and drag it up without too much trouble. Well, here's the Demo-Dozer. And this bucket is unique because not only does it act just like a grapple bucket, but it's so much more. And here's why. Number one, we have side plates that are removable that allows this to become a material bucket. Second of all, these are recessed, so you can grab logs or slabs of concrete without removing these side plates. Also, this grabs all the way across the front of this bucket, which means it's just like a clamshell or a giant hand. Also, this hook allows you to reach around objects like small trees or even a pipe that was higher than the bucket could go over. You could reach around it, grab it, and pull it out. Also, on the front of this bucket, the way it's enclosed is that it's actually a dozer that you can grade with it without filling the bucket with material. You can just push debris, dirt, anything, because it acts just like a dozer. Now, a unique feature of this bucket is the dozer portion along the front. And when it's closed, it actually creates a surface area in the front which acts like a dozer. So you can push material, debris, and you can also use this as a brake going downhill. With a standard GP bucket, that bucket will dig itself into the soil and you may not be able to back out. Where this, you can close it and push down and it acts just like a brake on steep hills. The bucket underneath is a 4-inch tube, square tubing, and this not only adds structural support, but what I use it for is when I open the bucket and I have a large piece of concrete or a log, I can lock it under there and use it to pick it up. It actually is quite useful, and on many jobs we've used this for the past 11 years. Also, this bucket comes with an edge that is pre-drilled for either reslows or standard reversible smooth edges. See the pins for the cylinders. These are all recessed for protection, and they're easy to access because you can stand in the center of the bucket and hit every pin quickly and easily without having to search for it. You know exactly where they are, directly recessed in the end of each pin. Very simple.
You're not going to break them off, right?
No, it's impossible to break them off unless it's an absolute anomaly. Also, if you'll notice, you don't see any hoses except in these channels behind the cylinders. And when these cylinders roll up, these hoses stay in this channel for protection. And then they move through the tube to the outlet, which comes to the tractor. So very seldom will you ever have to replace a hose simply because of how they're protected. The cylinders are also protected by this cover, and this cover can be removed by pushing out this pin, tapping this back about 1/4 of an inch, you slide it down and turn it, and you can access your hoses without having to take this cylinder off either pin. It's not unique to the industry, but it works great, and it's easy access to the hoses if you ever have to replace a hose. People have asked me about this. What this does is this actually, as the grapples raise up, it hits this steel and stops the energy from hitting the back of the cylinder, which preserves cylinder life. That way the energy from these grapples, which is quite powerful, ends up driving the energy into this tube rather than all of it sitting on the end of the cylinder as the cylinder bottoms out. Absolutely one of my favorite things about this bucket is the fact that it holds so much material. When we roll over crushed concrete, and this thing grapples down and pulls down, it actually compresses material, and it's amazing how much this bucket will hold. One of the things I love about this bucket, and for so many years I've just used it and laughed every time I do this, is you can grab right here a piece of concrete with just an inch or two on it, and you can pull that concrete out of a side of a house where you can't get your tractor, but you can reach it and pull it out and just keep moving it with simply because you can grab right here on that edge. With no standard grapple could do that. Now, the bucket's amazing, and another feature is the fact that you can roll over a pile of debris like brush. You can roll over it and then pull it back and crush it, and then roll over some more and crush it. You can almost get 2 bucket loads of debris in here that you wouldn't be able to get with a standard grapple because of the way it rolls the debris into the bucket. Another feature of this bucket is the fact that we move a lot of dirt, and I don't mean just 2 buckets, I mean hundreds of yards. And once you fill this bucket with dirt and compress it by lowering the grapples, it actually holds that dirt in place, so we have less cleanup time because we don't lose debris from point A to point B, which is from the front yard of a house to the backyard, which saves us tons of time on cleanup. It's absolutely phenomenal the way this bucket helps us reduce that cleanup time. When we deliver material like sand for ditches or base rock for driveways, what we can do is you can have a full load of that with the grapples closed, slightly open them just a couple inches, and you can spread just a little bit at a time and close it. You can actually control the amount of volume that leaves the bucket, so you don't have to dump a big pile and then try and spread it all out. It makes it easier if you're having to do this by hand, rake this debris out. Much easier and saves time. Sometimes we get jobs to spread base rock, and the nice thing about the Demo-Dozer is we can actually go up to a point where we want to deliver the base rock, but we can deliver it in a controlled volume. We can open up the grapples just a couple of inches and back up the tractor, and it lays that base rock out. Another thing that we do for jobs is we do landscape demolition, and that includes trees. Now, I've torn down 30-foot trees with this bucket simply by using this hook, opening the bucket, reaching up around a limb and pulling that grapple down and tearing a limb off. We can go stack that and come back, and we can tear an entire tree down with this bucket. This we call the demolition hook, and this is used, like I said, for tearing down trees. You can I've actually rammed this through the side of houses through stucco and pull the studs down. And what makes this so unique is the fact that you can actually, like on a 4-in-1, there's no space to tear anything down. You either have to go up and over it, and that's the only way you can grab anything. Where this, even if the item is higher than the bucket can reach over, all you have to do is tilt it forward, turn the tractor around it, grab it, and you can pull it out of the ground. It just works incredibly well. You know, believe it or not, one day we actually took out a telephone pole that was about 30 feet tall with this. We reached around, grabbed it, rocked it back and forth, and lifted it out of the ground and knocked it over. Absolutely amazing. I've also taken out trees, a number of trees in a row. We had a bunch of small trees, and within 30 minutes we had taken out probably 15 to 20 small trees. Just grab and pull them out by the roots and all. I get a lot of questions of why is this like this? Why is this designed like this? And I'll tell you why. When we do demolition of homes, we end up with a lot of debris that sits in here. What it does is, when you get material stuck in here, whether it's a garden hose or electrical wiring or copper tubing, whatever happens to be in a house demo or a yard demo, it doesn't get stuck in here. It actually falls through here. Also, it's narrow enough that you won't get a 2x4 stuck in there. It makes it so you don't have to hop in and out of the cab and by hand remove things that are stuck in the bucket. It's pretty much self-cleaning. About 15 years ago, I had a standard grapple bucket. I bought it from Bobcat, thought it was the greatest thing on earth, until I went to my first job and realized I had to pull out a bunch of junipers that it didn't work at all. And that is when I came up with this idea. It didn't take me long to realize that I couldn't make much money with a grapple bucket. So I came up with the Demo-Dozer, and with this design, we can tear out juniper bushes all day long, quickly, easily, and efficiently, without having to fight with a chain and a grapple bucket to yank the root systems out. this bucket allows you to grab from one point all the way to the other point, which means anything in between there, you can pick it up. Doesn't matter what it is. When you tear out shrubs, if there's 2 plants here, you can selectively grab one and pull it out, or you could grab both and pull it out. You can grab ivy and pull it out. We even grab filter fabric that's under dirt, and we can just grab that so tight and lift it up and shake the dirt off it and pull it out from a job. The difference with the Demo-Dozer is that you can grab all the way across this bucket. And when you look at a standard grapple, which has 4 points across the front, there is absolutely no comparison to what this bucket will do as far as pulling plants out, as far as grabbing debris, as far as pulling concrete, snapping concrete. There's just no comparison, as well as the fact that a 4-in-1 will not do what this bucket does. A 4-in-1 is very limited. So this bucket will actually replace a standard grapple, a 4-in-1, a number of different attachments just in the way it's designed. We get jobs sometimes where we actually have to go in and get logs, big logs. The bigger they are, the faster we can haul them out. So we remove these side plates and we can grab 2 huge logs and haul them out and load them on a truck. Very simple. As well as the fact that one of these was sold down in Texas for these 18-inch casings for what they call a rat hole. And what they found is they could take those side plates off and carry 2 of those and load them onto the drill rig, which was really, really efficient for them. And I had no idea about it, but that's what they did with it. However, you don't actually have to remove the side plates to haul logs, and that's what that recessed area from the edge of the side plate out to the front is there's enough room there to still push a log against it and grab it and haul it out. You don't have to remove them. It just limits the amount of logs that you can carry from wherever you're going, from point A to point B. When we first bought our house, out and back, there were all kinds of well pipes stuck in the dirt, in these piles of dirt. And what I realized is the Demo-Dozer, I can take that Demo-Dozer because it grabs flat all the way across the front, and I could grab the end of that pipe and pull it out of the dirt because you couldn't see it to grab it from the side. You had to grab it from the end, and this is the only bucket that could grab that from the end and pull it right out of that pile. One day we were digging a pool way out in an area near here, and the guys that were going to do the steel workers, they had all this rebar that was right way in front of the house. And what we did was we put the bucket under that pile of rebar and grabbed it, and we back drug about 1,500 or 1,800 pounds of steel around the house for them and laid it right next to the pool so they didn't have to carry it all. One day, at the end of the day, we had a bunch of plywood in the back of a truck that we had used to walk on from the front yard to the backyard, and we were all so tired that we just didn't want to unload it by hand. So I grabbed the Demo-Dozer and I said, you know what? I'm going to pull it out. So because it grabbed all the way across, I was able to grab that wood and literally just pull it right out of the truck, all in one bite, and set it on the ground. It was actually made me laugh because it was so easy without having to hump it out by hand. The unique thing about this bucket, which we did add, this is brand new, is we added a receiver. So you can actually put tools in here. This is like a tool carrier, the same receiver that's on the back of a truck. So you can put a log hook in it, which we have in it now, or you can put a ball hitch to move a trailer, or whatever you need to do. But along with that, you can create your own tools. And here we have a pick, and we also have a spade for digging. So the unique thing about this is the fact that tools that you can come up with, you can put in this receiver and use to add to the versatility of this bucket. And I can see it. I probably should have painted these. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
Now what can you do with that?
Okay, I actually used this tool on a job one day, and we had a hill with small concrete retaining walls. and it was really hard to get the tractor up the hill, so we built a slight ramp up the hill and reached over with this pick and pulled those retaining walls down off the hillside, foundation and all. It worked absolutely amazing. Yeah, a friend of mine who has had a Demo-Dozer for years and years now, he came up with this idea. Put the receivers in his bucket and started building these tools to make his jobs easier. Actually, he digs trenches, he plants trees, he does numerous jobs with this little pick. He also has a rake that he uses on this receiver, and he can rake out areas like ivy, tear out ivy. He does all kinds of different things just with these simple tools that he developed at home.
Don't tear up my driveway, man. All right, let's see if John will get a hernia on this one.
Ooh la la!
I want to plant a tree. That's good enough. It's only a 15 gallon. It's only a 15 gallon. That's good enough.
That's awesome.
Simple idea.
You see how fast that was?
Powerful usage.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can put anything on there.
Oh yeah. That's amazing. Here's another tool that you can put into the receiver, this tool carrier, and this is for moving trailers. It's a ball hitch. Move all kinds of trailers, fifth wheel, tractor trailer, whatever you need. Put it in here and you can move it. A friend of mine who has a tree service actually uses this trailer hitch to lower his trailer into areas where you can't really get a vehicle, and they load it up with logs, strap them down, and they can hook it back up and pull it right out. A very unique feature of this bucket. Also, the tree service, if you own a tree service, you can use this to lower a chipper into an area with this tractor where you can chip all the debris and then pull the chipper right back out where you can't access it with a vehicle.
The old fleet. There's one over there. There's the new blue bucket. Hey, you're pretty good with this toy.
Yeah,
You've been doing this long?
a little bit, a couple hours.